This is Lim Turner with the arbitragesource.com, and today I will be giving a short tutorial on how to read a Keepa graph. I understand that reading a Keepa graph can look intimidating and scary with the abundance of information and lines that are presented, but I will break it all down bit by bit so that you can see how it all works together and how it will help you with buying decisions, knowing what is good to buy and what you should walk away from. First, I will start by unclicking all of the buttons for the different information lines on the right and start with a blank graph. I'm going to leave the new third-party button on so you can see the sales price range on the left side of the graph. I will explain what the blue squares represent shortly. On the left side of the graph is the sales price that is shown, and on this graph, it is going from $0 down here to $14 up here. But it could be $0 to $3, or it could be $0 to $2,000. It just depends on how much the price has fluctuated over time. And on this example, if I turn on the eBay button, eBay used button, it expands the graph up to $35, as you can see up here. But you will likely not want to use or see those offers. But it is another piece of data that can be used, and with selling on Amazon, you only want to follow what the data tells you. Now, down here on the bottom of the graph is the history of the graph. And on this graph, it is showing 3 months of data going from June 12th all the way to today, the day of this recording, September 10th. So you can see it's going from over here in June all the way over here to September. And you can actually change the data that you see with the week down here by selecting range. You got week, and you can see these are days of the week, and you can go from week to month, and this is a month view of data. You can see 3 months of data from June through September. And this is typically the range that I like to see so that you can see recent history within like the last week, last few days or so. There's oftentimes when you look at a Keepa graph and you'll see the price jump for whatever reason. Maybe Amazon was on the listing this entire time and they were selling at a low price, and then when they went out of stock, the price went up. And you might think that that's a really good price to buy something at, but Amazon would probably normally be on the listing and be on the listing for a long amount of time, and it's just a short amount of time that they're out of stock. So when you're looking at this listing that you think is great because it's selling for such a high amount, in reality, Amazon will likely come back onto the listing fairly quickly and tank the price. So you want to be able to see recent history plus a little bit more of extended history, but I don't really want to see history that's a year long because there's so many different factors of the reasons why prices might go up or down. It could be the number of sellers, it could be the price, it could have been stuff going on sale, it could have been clearance things, it could have been seasonal things. There's just a lot of different factors that I don't want to see from a year's length of time. So 3 months is generally what I like to look at. And you can see a year's amount of time. And you can see the entire time that this item was tracked. And this one was tracked all the way back to 2017, at least for new third-party offers. There could have been more offers further along back in the past. And also, you can grab just whatever information you like. So, for example, if you started here at this point in time in July, you wanted to see through August 8th, you would click and drag over, and it would show you the details of that time period. So let me go back to the 3-month range. All right, going back to the graph, clicking on Amazon, it says sold and fulfilled by Amazon. Gaps in the graph are periods Amazon did not offer the product and was out of stock. Let me turn this eBay off so we have a more natural looking graph. And you can see on this graph here in this orange shaded area, this is where Amazon was on the listing. You can see they were on the listing here and they were on the listing here. And also while you hover over the graph, you can see the price that Amazon was offering it at. At this point in time, they were offering it for $8.99. Here, $9.33. Down here, $7.86. And then this little sliver, $3.59. So also any white gaps, like this white gap here, where there's no orange, like orange here, and this white gap, and this white gap here, and this white gap over on this other side, this is an indication where Amazon is not selling currently on the listing. That doesn't mean that there aren't other sellers. It's just that the Amazon is not on the listing. So I'm going to turn that off and turn new on. New is the lowest new price by third-party seller or Amazon, shipping not included. This means that this is the lowest price offered. If it is Amazon or FBA, it is going to have the shipping included. If it is fulfilled by merchant, it will not have the shipping included. It will just show the sales price. So in this example over here, if you look at this is $10.99, $9.99, $10.99. These are offers that is the lowest price, but is most likely an Amazon offer or an FBA offer. And you can see with these squared offers here, these are the new third-party FBM offers, and these are the offers that are with shipping. Just new would show that these are $1.67. So if you looked at the listing and on the listing, it would show that seller selling this for $1.67, but then it would also include their shipping price for these squares. So this is just the base price. This is the price without any shipping included. But over here, there aren't any FBM offers. These are FBA sellers or Amazon themselves. So it's all included and it's still the lowest price. But these offers over here would be just the fulfilled by merchant, their list price, and the squares would be the list price plus whatever they're charging for shipping. So let me turn this off and this off and go to used. Used is the lowest used price by third-party seller or an Amazon warehouse offer, shipping not included. And you will rarely ever see used offers. They just don't happen very much. They're typically only for books. Next, if you click on sales rank, it shows the green sales ranking over the course of history. Sales ranking is one piece of information that is quite important, and it is advantageous to learn what a sales ranking means in each category because not all sales rankings are the same in each category. For example, a book with a sales ranking of 200,000 will sell many, many copies a month, whereas an item with a 200,000 sales rank in crafts and art supplies will probably sell once a year. Sales are shown as dips in the graph. Sales are most likely occurring whenever the green line goes down. Sales are also not likely to be selling when the green line goes up. So if you look at the graph, you can see it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and up and down. When the graph is going up, that is a period where the item is not selling. So in this spot here, you can see for quite a while it's not selling, and there's this little dip, and that could be a sale, or it might just be the item moving within other items selling. But this giant dip here from the rank 230,000 down to 96,000, that is definitely a sale. Unfortunately, you cannot tell how many sales occur whenever a sales rank drops. It is just an indicator of sales. There is nothing that can estimate exactly how many sales there are. Amazon does not provide that information. So the best that you can tell is just going by the drops. And typically when the drops are closer together, when the drops are like here and here, when the closer together, they are selling more units at once. You can see over here again that sales are going slower because it's going up, or I should say that there aren't any sales at all, because the sales ranking is going up and up and up and up and up, and then it drops, and then up and up, and then it drops, stays low, then it goes up. So this period right here and this period right here, this item is selling a little bit slower. Sales ranking does not indicate how popular an item is. Saying that, it's not like an item where people really want it. This is just a representation of how fast an item sells compared to other items in the same category. The closer to number one, the better. And you can see over here on the right side of the graph where it has 0 and goes all the way up to 300,000, and it can go way higher than that. It can go up into the millions depending on whatever category it is. Book categories typically have sales rankings in the millions. You can see in this graph, the lower the number, like right here, 45,000, at this point in time, it's selling faster here in this area than it is over here in this area and over here, and even this area. It's still selling, but in this area it's selling slower, but this area over here is definitely selling faster because it is closer to 0 or 1. You want the graph to be down here for faster selling merchandise. One last thing to note about sales ranking is that they change hourly, so you cannot just depend on sales ranking to know how well an item sells. This is why it's important to always double check looking at a Keepa graph to make sure over history that it has a more stable graph. If you were to look at this graph and you were out and about or saw something online and you scanned it and it had a sales ranking of 210,000, and without looking at a Keepa graph, you might look at that and say, oh, wow, 210,000, that's not very good in this category. But the very next day, for whatever reason, somebody buys this item on Amazon, and the sales ranking drops down to 96,000. So if it was a Monday and you scanned this on Monday and you saw it was 210,000, like, oh, this is not very good. But on Tuesday, somebody buys it, or a few people buy it, and the sales rank drops down to 96,000, and you scan it on that day, you might say, wow, this is something that, sells really well. I might want to put it in my box or my buggy. But what you want to look at when you're looking at a Keepa graph, you want to look to see steady sales. And although there's a peak here and a peak here where this item was not selling as fast, over the course of this 3-month time, you can see that it is selling, even though it's selling faster in this period here between like August 1st and August 16th. This is selling faster. It is still selling in this area over here. So when you are scanning, keep in mind that if you scan it, like I said, on this date here, it's 252,000, and you might skip it thinking, wow, this is not a very good seller. But then the very next day it's down to 150, and then just a few weeks later or a month later, you can see that the sales ranking is down in the 80,000, 70,000, 40,000 range down here. So make sure to look at Keepa and look at this graph so that you can see over time how well something is selling or not selling. All right, next we have list price. List price is the suggested retail price as provided by the manufacturer or supplier or by the seller themselves. When you create a listing, you can put a list price. And this list price really means nothing. As you can see here, the list price in this 3-month period is $2.80. But if you click on the Amazon button, you can see that Amazon selling it for $8.99, $9 something dollars, $7.86 here. So this list price doesn't really mean anything to you. Now we have refurbished. Refurbished is the lowest refurbished price, shipping not included. This won't apply to the majority of everyone because you need special permission to sell refurbished items. New third-party FBM. It is the lowest new price by third-party seller with fulfillment by merchant, shipping included, displayed as squares. These are your merchant fulfilled orders, shipping included, and you can tell by blue squares, and you can see how the price has fluctuated over time. At one point in time, a merchant fulfilled or fulfilled by merchant seller was selling this at $11.87, and then at another time $6.83. It just changes. But let me thank you for watching this video, and if you have learned anything from me and would like to keep seeing more Amazon seller related videos, I welcome you to subscribe, like this video, turn the notification bell on, and share it with your friends. Thank you in advance. Getting back to the graph, we have warehouse deals. And these are open box or items that Amazon wants to clearance out of their warehouse. And they are indicated by purple X's on the graph. And I can't see any on this. Let me scroll down here, change to the year view. Come back up. Nothing in year view. Oh, okay, here. You can see all the way back in 2018, they had warehouse deals selling this from 77 cents all the way up to $5.73. And as you can see, there hasn't been any more offers in any recent history or past history before that. And likely these are offers that Amazon has come up with from the merchandise of sellers who had their inventory lost at a warehouse, and Amazon reimbursed the sellers for that lost merchandise. Later on, wherever in the warehouse, they relocated that inventory, and instead of putting it back into the inventory of the seller because they already reimbursed them, they will sell it themselves. Or it could be an open box item or a scratch and dent or something like that. And this is where you will see those offers, and they are indicated by the X's. Let me change this back to 3 months because that is like what I'd like to see. All right, now we have new third-party FBA. These are the lowest new price offers by third party sellers with fulfillment by Amazon FBA. These are the offers by sellers that have sent their merchandise through UPS or shipping containers that have made it to Amazon. And this is Amazon shipping your merchandise to Amazon customers whenever they order them. And they are indicated by orange triangles. And you can see how the price has changed over time. At this point, it was $10.99, then dropped down to $9.60. Then you have one down here that's $3.22, and this is probably a seller that did not know exactly what they were doing, and sold it at this low price. And you can see how the price changes over time. Now we have the buy box. This pink line is the price of the new buy box offer, shipping included. The buy box is the box on a product detail page where customers can add the item to their shopping carts. Hovering your cursor over the buy box button on the right will show at the very top of the graph above $12. You can see there is a bar. On that bar, it shows who at the time has the buy box, if there is one, whether it be an Amazon offer, an FBA offer, or an FBM offer. When looking at the pink line, the gaps show where there isn't currently a buy box and is considered to be suppressed. So right here, there's no buy box. So this is a time where the buy box is suppressed. Here, also, where there's no pink line, there will not be a buy box, or excuse me, there will not be a buy box, and this will be suppressed. Also here, it will be suppressed, and over here, it will be suppressed. When there isn't a buy box, meaning there isn't a featured offer on Amazon, the listing will show as being suppressed. And all of the offers will be presented as a list on the right side of the screen to the customers. There won't be a single seller that is shown prominently. But as you can see in the graph, and let me turn this sales rank on, you can see that even though that there isn't a buy box and it's suppressed, there are still sales happening. There's sales happening here, sales happening here. For whatever reason, there is a few sales right in here, right when it becomes suppressed, but the sales ranking is going up, so it is showing that it is still it's not selling. But as soon as the buy box did come back, there were it started to sell again. So sales can be made here again in this area right here where it's suppressed. You can see that the sales ranking is going down. So even though that the listing is suppressed, you can still get sales without having a buy box. All right, next are the used offers. And generally, you won't see used offers on most listings. Typically, you will see used offers on books because a lot of books have different conditions, and that's where you see it. You can turn these on, and I'm gonna go down here to see over the year's time. So yeah, over here on a year's time, you can see that there were a few used offers. Used very good for $8.14. Over here, there was some used like new. You can see the $1.30, 77 cents. Used good. So this is how you see the used offers. And like I said, you probably won't see it on most items unless you're selling books. Let me go back to the 3-month view. And lastly, we have eBay new and eBay used. This will show if there are any exact matching offers on eBay in the listing price of the eBay offer. This can be used as another check to see if the price shown on Amazon is in the realm of possibility of a reasonable sales price. For example, if you were to see eBay knew here that is $8.75, and you have a listing on Amazon that is $59.99, most likely that $59.99 price is not going to be a price that you can sell the item at unless it is showing that it is selling at that price. But most likely it's not going to sell at $59.99. It's going to sell much closer to this $8.75, even though you can sell items on Amazon for typically quite a bit more than you can on eBay. But a gap of that large, being $8.75 to $59.99, that's just not likely that you'll be able to sell the item at $59.99. Okay, I will briefly talk about these two boxes here in the middle. The middle box shows sales ranking from the main category and also the subcategories. This box is not very important as it gives the same information that you can see in the top box when you look at the sales ranking green line. And the subcategory is not anything that you need to concern yourself with. So let me move this up a little bit. Turn the sales ranking on up here. And I'm going to turn the main category here on in the middle box. And you can see that they are pretty much the exact same thing. If you look at here, you see 230,824 in the middle box, same as the top box, 230,824. You can, let me turn this off. You can see these subcategories. So one of these subcategories is kitchen and sink accessories for this item. And then you can see, even if you go back to that 230,000 sales rank in the main category, it is 2,219 in the subcategory. Subcategories is not really important to learn. There are way too many subcategories for you to actually learn how well something sells in that category. Or if you really felt like it and you wanted to learn it, more power to you. And then again, the further down in the category rank tree, this is pipe fittings, and you can see, you can go back to that 230,000 main category rank. You can see that it is 2,443 in pipe fittings. So this middle box is not very important because the most important information about learning how fast something sells, you can see that in this top box. This bottom box, go down here. This bottom box contains the new offer count, used offer count, refurbished offer count, rating, and review count. Now, these offers may not be on every graph and will only populate if there has ever been an offer of the condition that Keepa has tracked over time. So I'm turning on the new offer count, and this is just for the new offers, whether it be FBM, FBA, or Amazon. And you can see how they go up and down. And this is just bizarre right here. This is not normal for them to go up and down, 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 as much as they are in this short amount of time. Typically, they will look more like this in this area, where it has 3, goes down to 2, 1, 2, 4, 6. And actually, this is also a way that you can tell if there is an item that may have an IP, an authentic claim issue, where if there were a lot of sellers, and I'm not talking about this here, but let's say if the blue line was steady at 50 and went across 50, and then on just one day, it drops down to 1. If that happens, most likely a brand seller or brand has try to kick other sellers off of the listing. And you can tell that by an extreme drop in the number of offers, the sellers. So you have new offer count, used offer count, and refurbished offer count. Next is ratings. Ratings, this is how well a product has been rated from 1 star to 5 stars. 1 being poorly rated, 5 stars being excellently rated. A product's rating has more to do with private label sellers who need the information to help determine if that item is one that is good to have manufactured for them. That rating is not as important for sellers who do arbitrage or wholesale. Lastly, we have review count. Review count is the number of actual reviews. It is when a user or a customer leaves their opinion about a product. Review counts can be very useful when determining if an item is actually selling when there isn't a sales ranking present. If an item review count is rising without a sales ranking, that is an indicator of sales. So you can't see it in this graph because there is a sales ranking that is going through the whole thing. But sometimes, for whatever reason, and nobody knows the reason, Amazon will stop giving the information on sales rank. So just for example, it might go to 210,000 and this whole area over here is blank, showing that it doesn't have a sales rank, but it still has offers. If you look down here in the bottom, you can see the review count. And if the review count after that point where there isn't a sales rank, pretend there's no sales rank here, and the review count is going up, like the review count is going up here, that is an indicator of sales. And you can use that to be able to see if an item is selling or not. If the review count, or if there isn't a review count, or if the reviews stop going up, then that item might not be selling anymore. And that is it. That's pretty much everything that you need to look at to be able to read a Keepa graph. And looking at this Keepa graph with everything turned on does look intimidating. But like on the movie The Matrix, those people could look at the green graph and the things falling down, and they could see the blondes and the redheads and whatever they want to see. And that's basically the same thing that's going on here. Once you learn what all of these different attributes mean, you can decipher this graph and be able to pull out the information that you need to be able to make really good buying decisions. So again, I want to thank you for watching this video. And really, if you have learned anything from me and you would like to keep seeing more Amazon seller related videos, again, I welcome you to subscribe, like this video, turn the notification bell on, and share it with your friends. Thank you in advance. Again, this is Lim Turner with thearbitragesource.com.